which leads me to the I think probably the last thing that we have time to talk about is let's say you do join the military and you find yourself in like that third or fourth year and things are bad. Things are bad. What are you supposed to do in that situation? You know, like I guess, and even just having this conversation about like the Air Force, like is the Air Force even worth saving? Like why does it seem to be the way it is, and how do you fix it?
Well, first of all, you can't fix it by quitting. Anybody that's ever said, I'm gonna, I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix it by leaving it alone and never doing anything of my own. Like, I guess you'd have to answer it. Number one, do you love this country? Do you love the Air Force? Do you have a desire to serve? If those questions are yes, yes, and yes, I don't know if you fix that by getting out. I don't know if you fix it. It would be like, boy, A&S really sucks. Well, yeah, you can fix A&S sucking by leaving it.
Fixes everything.
Yeah, fixes everything. Yeah, exactly.
Because your other job is going to be super nice. No one's ever going to belittle you in the Air Force in another job.
Absolutely. But if you look, we talked about, mill influencers, look at Sam Shoemate. You may know him as Terminal CWO. He thought things were totally bad. He thought things were beyond repair. Did he quit? Did he resign his commission and get out of the Army and not do anything? No. He was like, listen, I care about this so much that I'm going to put aside my personal desires and comforts. I'm going to put aside what makes me comfortable right now. I'm going to stay and I'm going to try to fix this thing. And he does it still to this day, to his credit. He's out there trying to expose and make things better and not doing it in a negative way. Of course, you're living your life in a negative space. Like, to the 2-6 boys that made it through the nightmare years at Cannon, nobody wanted to be there. Nobody wanted to go there. People were turning down orders and were getting out over how bad of a location they thought it was that for them at that time. And man, I can't say that they were wrong in some of those decisions. Does that make ST better by not going there and making your bros that stayed in, making them take 3 more months time on the road to cover your deployments, to cover down on people that did want to go there? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess unless you can get out and not pay taxes, you don't really just get a say that you're not participating, right? Like, we're all participants in this great experiment still. And if you are showing the passion, if you're on social media yelling at people about the military and the government and all these other things, and you're like, but I would never join because XYZ, and these are all the problems, and like I would never, like commission or whatever, because it's a corrupt organization and all these things are wrong with it. It's like, okay, well then just keep giving them your money. If you think it's that bad, or what are you going to do? Move to Canada? Like all the celebrities that never actually moved to Canada, which was super unexpected.
I can't wait till Trump gets elected, and then we can live with like 75% less of these celebrities. There was a list going around for a while of everybody that said that they were leaving if he gets elected again. And I sincerely hope for that, just because I love chaos. But I think you're right, and the question, and I think that's a great place to kind of wrap it up is the Air Force worth saving? Is it worth your time, your energy? Is it worth your attention and motivation and life to get in? Because you're going to have to change your entire life to get in. That's not really the question. The question is, do you think America is worth it? Do you think that this grand experiment that we have, do you think it's important enough for you to give a part of yourself to the military to fix? Because if that answer is no, well, then you got problems that are way bigger than what job you want to do and what service branch and all that other stuff. I think that, to answer completely and clearly from me, absolutely, I think that the Air Force is worth it. Absolutely, I think America is worth it. I think, I'm long on America. I don't make any bones about that. And that's, the reason why I got in. And that's the reason why at the end of this career, and I'm going to put the braid out. I'm going to go do something else. It's not going to be part of who I am, every day. It'll be part of my story and my history. But more importantly, I'm an American citizen, and I paid a debt to what I thought was important. And I think it's still important for people to do that today, for 1 enlistment, 2 enlistments, 20 years, 30 years in some cases, whatever you want to do. Man, I definitely think it's worth saving. And I think, like any grown up decision, it's going to have good stuff and bad stuff that goes along with it.
Well, and I think you have to ask yourself too, if you find yourself drawn to something like this community, you have to ask yourself if you're worth it, if you're worth investing in to do the thing that you're drawn towards. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are scared to make that investment, to view themselves as worthy and capable. And, you're never going to know unless you try it. You can spend the rest of your life, talking about it, on the internet, or whatever the internet turns into once we're communicating brain to brain wirelessly and all that other stuff. Thanks, Elon.
Neuralink Web 3.0.
But or you can just suck it up and find out what you're made of, and then make the investment and see if you can make a difference.